Happy Tuesday from Houston, Texas. Welcome to Stellar Parenting with Brandi. I'm your host, Brandi Kahn, and I am an intuitive astrologer. And I also hold a Master of Science degree in psychology with an emphasis in child and adolescent development. And I'm super passionate about helping parents, guardians, teachers learn how to mix the magic of the stars, combine the magic of the stars and the planets with the art of consciously and intentionally raising our children. You can find me online at brandicon.com. Brandi is spelled with an I and Kahn is Khan. And if you'd love to be on the show for a free tarot or natal chart reading, please join my Facebook group, Psychology Infused Astrology, and sign up on the list. So welcome to today's show. We have so much to get to. We've got some exciting transits for this week. We will also have our weekly segment in the spotlight. And today, for In the Spotlight, I'm focusing on moms and dads who have their moons in the sign of Scorpio. And then towards the end of the show, we will have time for a caller. So if you'd like a free tarot or astrology reading, please call in. I'd love to hear from you. So today we are Tuesday, November 12th. The transits for this week. Now you want to listen carefully because we've got some major things, major shifts that will be happening this week. So for today, Tuesday, November the 12th, we have Mercury stationed at 12 degrees of Sagittarius, squaring Saturn, which is at 12 degrees of Pisces. So in astrology, Mercury is the planet of communication, how we think and how we speak. That's what he rules. And when we put Mercury in the fire sign of Sagittarius, there might be a lot of communication around our vision for life, our ideals, the bigger picture of what we want in life. Now, when it comes to Saturn in astrology, Saturn is the teacher. Saturn is the planet of structure, order, and discipline. So when we have Mercury squaring Saturn, and you know, a square represents some measure of internal tension. So with Mercury squaring Saturn this week, we might find that our communication takes on a much more serious tone. You might also find as well that when it comes to thoughts, ideas, and words, they're a little bit slower coming to you. It takes you a little while to think of exactly the word that you want to use, okay? That's all, you know, how Mercury and Saturn function together with this square. And if you are a parent, if you're a mom, dad, or a guardian, you might find yourself this week having to follow through on ultimatums that you've given to your child. And, you know, these could be ultimatums around grades, academics, studying, ultimatums around behavior, or even, you know, when it comes to household chores, that can be figured in there as well. So Mercury squaring Saturn, it's all about, okay, I've said that I was going to do this, and now I'm going to follow through with what I've promised. Now I'm going to follow through with what I've said. And you might also find that maybe you've made promises to your husband, your wife, your significant other, promises about things that are going to be done. And now this week, it's time to buckle down and figure out, okay, how do I actually make it happen? How do I make this work? How do I put my plan into action? So things get real when we have Mercury squaring the planet of Saturn. And so it's all about, okay, yeah, I'm going to back up what I say. Now, on a larger scale, and for those of you who love mundane astrology, worldwide astrology dealing with world events, we're post-election here in the United States. And if you remember, Donald Trump, when he was campaigning, he made quite a few promises, a lot of promises about big plans, ideas that he wanted to implement. Basically, it was almost like the epitome of Mercury and Sagittarius, okay? So if you've noticed, if you've been following the news cycle over the past couple days, you're noticing that he's actually backing up what he said he was going to do. And the evidence that we have of that is if you look at the people that he's appointing to his cabinet, these are people who are saying, yes, we are actually going to follow through on what was promised. So that's one way of seeing this transit in action on a collective scale or on a worldwide scale. And it may take on a slightly different tone in your own personal life. And then for Friday, November the 15th, we have Saturn. Saturn will station direct at 12 degrees of the sign of Pisces. So Saturn has been retrograde since June 29th this year. Okay. And remember, Saturn in astrology is the planet of structure, order, discipline, and solid foundations. Okay. So with Saturn stationing direct, you might find yourself moving much more intentionally towards long-term goals that you've been planning. And you might also have the realization that there's a lot more that you could do to get towards those goals, to reach those goals. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you to look at your natal chart. And if you're not sure where to go to look at your natal chart, you can go to my website, brandicon.com, enter in your information, and I want you to find out where Saturn is located in your natal chart. Which house is Saturn located in? Because this is the area of life that you will probably be focusing on as far as long-term goals. So you're looking for Saturn and you're looking for the sign of Pisces, okay? Looking for Pisces. So if you've got Pisces in the second house, that might mean over these next few weeks, next few months, you're really trying to push towards financial goals. You're really trying to push towards working to strengthen your sense of self, your self-esteem, and what you value in life. Okay? If you've got Pisces in the sixth house of daily work, routine, and health, maybe you're working towards reaching some health goals. Maybe you've got some goals about what you want to do for work or how you want to set up your daily routine. And if you have Pisces in the fifth house and you are a parent, what you might find then is that you are using the energy of Saturn really to try to help your children to hone in on their sense of direction. Trying to help your children figure out how to set long-term goals and then put a plan in place to actually reach those long-term goals. Okay, so it would be very important. It's very important for you to find out where Pisces is in your natal chart and use the energy of Saturn accordingly. Okay. So now we've got a huge transit coming up that I will be talking about right now. Also on Friday, November 15th, ladies and gentlemen, we will have a full moon, 24 degrees of Taurus. Now, the moon is exalted in the sign of Taurus, naturally, okay? Taurus is an earth sign, and Taurus embodies stability, consistency, and practicality. So it's a really good place for the moon. The moon is all about our feelings and our emotions, and there within solid, stable Taurus, oh, it just feels so good. But there's a catch to this. We also have Uranus stationed at 25 degrees of Taurus, right next door to this full moon. And the energy of Uranus will massively impact and influence the energy of this full moon. Now, Uranus in astrology has certain themes associated with the planet. Those themes are freedom, change, and many times the change is unexpected, shocking events, awakening, revolution. Okay. So we've got this beautiful full moon that will be shining her bright light on these themes dealing with Uranus. So it might feel as if there's, a little bit of unpredictability, instability, maybe a little bit of chaos for a few days. Okay. And if we've got breaking news about something that just sounds crazy out there, I want you to remember, if you're a mom, dad, guardian, it's a great time during these times of change to reassure our children that we always will maintain a sense of safety, security, and stability for them within our home. Let them know that no matter what happens, they will always be safe and secure. So, and you also want to make sure that you are not vacillating between emotional extremes right now, emotional highs and lows. You know, that can happen with Moon Uranus. Just ask someone with their moon in aspect to Uranus in their natal chart. Lots of highs and lows, ups and downs, okay? So you want to make sure that you're keeping yourself on a steady, stable ground. And you're doing that so that you can also give that sense of stability and safety to your child. Now, the best way to do that during this time over the next week, I really want you to focus on spending time outside, spending time out in nature. Moon in Taurus is an excellent time to go outside, sit on the grass, hug a tree, anything that will help you to ground into the energies of the earth. Because nature has a wonderful way of transmuting and transforming lower, denser vibrations. So spend some time with your child outside, especially towards the end of the week. And then on Saturday, November 16th, we have the sun 25 degrees of Scorpio opposing Uranus at 25 degrees of Taurus. So with this transit occurring so closely to the full moon that's already conjunct Uranus, again, the themes of Uranus are going to be emphasized. And those themes are all about freedom, change, awakening, brilliant insights. So I want you to allow yourself the space just to be spontaneous and flexible this weekend. Spontaneous and flexible. Everything may not go according to plan. Everything may not go according to your schedule. But if unexpected situations pop up for you, I want you to try to go with the flow, okay? And if your child seems particularly impulsive, rebellious, or they're taking a lot of risks, please keep in mind the energy that's flowing through the cosmos, okay? At this time, it feels almost electric, and I'm feeling it even right now. This will especially be true if you've got a child who has their sun, moon around 25 degrees of Scorpio, Leo, Aquarius, or Taurus. So please remember that, moms and dads, okay? And this week in the spotlight, I just want to speak to the moms, dads, grandmas, grandpas, the guardians that may have their moon or sun in the sign of Scorpio. So in astrology, the moon not only represents our feelings and our emotions and what gives us a sense of security, but the moon can also point to the experience that we had with our own mothers, the experiences that we had as a child growing up. Okay, so today we're going to look at the way that your mother shaped you and the nurturing habits that you probably picked up from mom or rejected from mom if you've got that moon in Scorpio. So as a sign, we've got Scorpio is a fixed water sign. So emotions are very important with Scorpio. Consistency and stability is also very important when it comes to Scorpio. Scorpio is the sign of emotional depth and emotional intensity. And Scorpio has the psychological need for transformation, for healing, and for empowerment. So at its best, Scorpio is meant to be mysterious, magnetic, passionate, deep, intuitive, strong, and loyal. But the shadow side of Scorpio can be extremely secretive, obsessive, jealous, unforgiving, possessive, and even manipulative. So if you have your moon in the sign of Scorpio, your mother at her best, at her very, very best, she was meant to be a very empowered and passionate woman, okay? But at her worst, if she wasn't able to be at her best, at her worst, she may have been controlling, may have been a little obsessive, maybe even a little manipulative at times, okay? Now, the beautiful thing about a child's natal chart is that the child is not actually living the natal chart as they are growing up. What's going on is we have the adults around the children, particularly the parents or the guardians, who are acting out the patterns in the chart. Okay? The child sees these patterns demonstrated over a long period of time, and they begin to integrate them into who they are and into how they behave. And then they display these around 14, 15 years old. They begin to act out these same patterns that they've seen modeled for them as they were growing up. So if your mother demonstrated the qualities of loyalty and intuitive knowing and deep emotional connection, these are potentially qualities that you also probably demonstrate as a mother. But on the other hand, if mom really kind of was leaning towards the shadow side of Scorpio, that may also be a pattern that you have within your own parenting style as well. Okay? So for my moon and Scorpio parents, listen carefully. I want you to make the decision to be very intentional about the way that you parent. Okay? If there are family patterns or family trauma that you experienced as you were growing up, you really don't want to pass that on to your child, right? You really don't want to pass it on. We don't want to give them the same pain that we had to endure. So you want to be the one who breaks the link. You want to be the one who transforms the dysfunctional family patterns. It's you. You are the one that says, no more. It ends with me. I'm not repeating the same patterns. I am going to do something different. And if you get criticized for taking a different pathway, for doing something different, I want you to stand in your knowing and in your belief and in your faith that you're doing what's right for your child in the long term. Okay? And since Scorpio really embodies the quality of emotional intensity, very, very deep emotions, can be very intense, I want you to make sure that emotional regulation is something that you practice, something that you model for your child. Okay? I'm going to say that again. I want you to make sure that you're practicing and modeling emotional regulation for your child. Okay? And you can ask yourself, how can I constructively channel my emotions? How can I constructively channel my emotions when I'm feeling a certain way? Okay. And if you don't have a balanced and creative outlet for this powerful reservoir of energy that you carry within your energy field, it has the potential to come out in very dysfunctional and unexpected ways. Channel that energy that you have into something creative, into something productive. Singing, art, music, running, training for a marathon. Channel your reservoir of energy into something empowering so that it doesn't come out in disempowering ways. Okay? Now, did you know that even if your mother or father, so let's say that you have your moon in Scorpio, and your mom, she really showed the shadow side of Scorpio, does it mean that you're doomed forever? Oh yeah, you're just doomed and there's nothing you can do, and man, your child is going to suffer. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay. Even if your mom or dad was not able, even if they were not able to give you a sense of secure attachment, that does not mean that you cannot provide that for your child. Okay. Your history is not your destiny. Again, your history, where you've been, does not have to be where you end up, where you're going, your destiny at all. Okay. Now, if you want to find out more about the patterns that show up within your natal chart and how they affect you as a mom or a dad, please visit my website and book a natal chart session. And we will come up with a game plan that helps you to be the absolute best parent that you could possibly be. Okay? And thank you so much. And we have our caller now. I think we have Melissa. Hi, Melissa. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
Fine. How are you doing?
Could be better.
Well, where are you calling from?
Canandaigua, New York.
Awesome, New York. Okay, well, it's wonderful to have you here on the show. Would you like astrology or tarot, Melissa?
Uh, Tarot, please.
All righty, we will do that for you. I'll do a Celtic cross spread for you. And is there anything in particular that you want to focus on or that you want to know?
My boyfriend took a break from me. It's been 10 weeks now, but he insists that we're not broken up. He's just going through a lot of his mental health issues and his other regular health issues and whatever's going on with his household. But, I mean, come on, 10 weeks. This is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah, that must be really difficult. That must be difficult for you.
It is.
And yeah,
He's
and
like
I'll
my
do a
soulmate.
spread.
Like,
Oh, really?
thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it feels like half of my soul is ripped from me, and I've never felt like this with anyone before. And I'm like,
Wow. Wow. My heart goes out to you, Melissa, and we'll get some clarity here. So just going to shuffle the cards, get some clarity for Melissa. Melissa about her relationship. Okay. And tell me when you want me to stop, Melissa.
Stop.
All righty. Let's see what we've got. Okay, so let me take a look here and do one clarification card right here. All right, and I'm seeing this. So the card that shows me the situation that we're looking at right now, I do have the Four of Pentacles. When it comes to the Four of Pentacles, usually this is showing someone who either holds on very tightly to money, possessions, people, or situations. There's almost this reluctance to fully let go. Now, this almost feels, would you describe your boyfriend that way? Is he the one that's a little bit reluctant to let go, or would you say that that's more you?
He doesn't like change.
Okay, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so change is difficult for him. Change is difficult for him. And the thing about it is, I have the High Priestess as the challenge card in this situation. So there's something about you, Melissa. You have an intuitive knowing about the situation. You have, you're feeling the energy of the situation, and what you're feeling or sensing is a little bit different than what he's describing. Would you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. There's just this sense of he's presenting it one way, but there's something within you that feels like, no, this is different. This is, I'm not so sure that I know everything that's going on or exactly what he's thinking. Now, I do have here over the next few weeks, the Three of Wands. And the Three of Wands usually comes up. It comes up sometimes if there's travel that's planned, international travel, or if someone is just beginning a new venture, new project, or something on their own, alone, in a way that they never have before. So question number one, are you or your boyfriend, are either one of you planning travel internationally?
That's funny you bring that up. We're in a long distance relationship. We live 5 hours away, but he lives in New Jersey and he has family in Greece, and he was thinking about going to Greece to get medical care there.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I am showing travel, like long distance travel somewhere. And it sounds like it really applies to him. Now, over the next month, though, we do have the Ace of Cups that comes up. With the Ace of Cups is all about the potential to feel very loved within a relationship, the potential to get exactly what you want, the potential like where you feel as if, oh my gosh, my heart is overflowing. There's nothing more that I could want. So the way that this situation feels for me right now, just as I'm kind of feeling into the energy of it, because the answer card that I got is the Hermit. Now, whenever the Hermit comes up, usually for me, that means that the person, my sitter, will have either, or maybe they're going through a time where they're feeling really lonely. They're feeling alone. They're feeling isolated. They're almost feeling abandoned. Okay. With the Hermit. You understand?
Oh yeah, that's him. He wallows in his own self. I don't want to say it like that, self pity, but he's so used to doing things on his own because he's always been by himself.
Right.
That he doesn't like to bring people into his own problem.
Oh, okay. Okay. I understand what you're saying. And the thing about it is too, like with that feeling of being really alone and isolated, your personal power card that comes up, we've got the Two of Cups. So there is love here. You don't, it's not only that you love him, he also has love for you as well. Okay. Now, what I want you to remember, we do have the Four of Swords that comes up. And this is a card that comes up when someone's feeling very anxious and overwhelmed, sick with worry. Okay. So I know that I want to say from your guides, the Temperance card here is as much as possible to practice some sort of activity that gives you a sense of emotional balance, a little bit more stability. It just feels here with the Four of Swords. I'm sick with worry. I'm anxious and I don't quite know what's going on, but I'm feeling over the next month, things become clear. And we've got the Ace of Cups that's here. I almost feel like a return back to the way things were. Right now, there's something that's going on with him. I don't really feel like he's fully sharing it. Maybe he's afraid to. But right now, I'm just like, as I'm tapping into the energy, it feels like he needs a little bit of space to kind of figure out or deal with what's going on in his life. I don't feel that it's a rejection of you, though. Okay, Melissa?
All right. Yeah, I just message him good morning each morning. That's what I was afraid of. Is I would never ever hear from him again. Will I be hearing from him before he goes to Greece or after he comes back?
I do feel like it's before. I feel like it's before.
All right.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much for calling, Melissa.
So much too.
I wish you luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
And thank you all for joining me today on this cosmic journey. Remember, the stars may guide us, but we hold the power to shape our destiny. So keep shining bright and let your inner light lead the way. I'll see you next week.